Hello and welcome to my new video. I can't believe that 2020 is already almost over. It's only a week left. So I have to plan what I'll be reading for the next year. And my plan is I want to read 12 of my oldest books that I have on my bookshelves. So I just try to find what I have and I chose 12. So I think I'll just show you in no particular order, just 12 oldest books. First one is The Black House by Peter May. I bought this book I think in 2017, around that time, and since then it just stood on my shelves. It looks, from the cover, it looks very interesting for me. I just don't know why I still haven't read this book. So this one is about a brutal murder that happens in some island in Scotland, Isles of Lewis in Scotland, and a detective is sent there because, as far as I know, he is also from Scotland. He was born in Scotland, Finn MacLeod, and he tries to find out what happened there. As far as I know from the description, that island is very strange and the connections between the people are very interesting, and in the end, like it says here, the hunter becomes the hunted. So I'm thinking that someone will try to kill the detective. I don't know, but it sounds very interesting. So this one will be my first one in the list. The second one is a huge one. It's the collection of all the stories in the Narnia world. I have this one also from 2017, and it's definitely time for me to read it, because another of my challenges for myself for the next year will be to read more classical books. So I think this will be perfect for me. Middle grade and easy to read. However, this edition is in the Norwegian, so it can take me a little bit longer to finish this book than I would like to, but I will try. It has some illustrations and it's a very pretty book. I don't know if I read all at one sitting and in one time, or I just read separate stories only. We will see. I can see Prince Caspian. This under this jacket, it's very simple, just black. It feels like it's cloth bound. Very pretty also. So I don't think I have to tell you what these books are about, but because it's very popular. The third one is very very bright, but you can see the cover is this. It's a Lithuanian edition of Norwegian story, Septintas susitikimas by Herbjørg Wassmo. The original title is The Sjuende møte, and in English I think it will sound something like The Seventh Meet, or they meet on seventh time, something like that. Yeah, it's about at first two kids, Ruth and Gormo, and how they impact each other's life. Ruth is a very artistic person, and she is from very small Norwegian village where artistic people is not that understood. But now she's older. She's a famous artist, and Gorm is also now a I think he's a businessman or something like that, and a lot of years separates them now, and they both have families as far as I know, and so both have their careers, but they have something similar each other. They feel lonely and they want to have someone to talk to or someone to give a hug. So they meet 6 times, I think, during this book, and I guess that final seventh meet and greet will be somehow the last, and everything will end there. Yeah, sounds quite interesting, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's time to finally read this one. I think I've got this was, I don't remember exactly, but I think I've got this from my sister when I went to visit them in Lithuania. So definitely time to finally read this one. Another one will be very controversial, I think, at least now. It has a very high rating on Goodreads, but in the past few months I started hearing not that great things about this one, so I'm now a little bit hesitant to read it, but I think I will give it a try at least. It's The Help by Kathryn Stockett. It's a very popular book, and now I think it's a movie even based on this book. It's about black and white community in Mississippi, about servants and how they are treated, about friendship, I think, between the servant and the girl that she helped to raise, white girl, and how everything will change. I think very vague description from me, but I know just that. Another one will be the book that I won on Goodreads giveaway, when there was still giveaways on Goodreads. It's 8 Ball Down by A.S. Thompson. I also got this book, I think, in 2017 or early 2018, so it's definitely time to finally read this one. It's a book about vampires, and I guess they have to save the world. I don't know. I'm just thinking, because the description is a little bit all over the place. So as far as I know, there will be vampires, zombies, fish demons, time police, and pan-dimensional indestructible plague of female pirates. A lot of things. The first time I heard about this book, I thought that it will be interesting. Now I'm not so sure, to be honest, but I still am willing to give it a chance. At least I will try to read it. If not, then this book will go to the charity shop. Also, one of the oldest books on my bookshelf is a Norwegian edition of Miracle by R.J. Palacio. It's about August, I think. August Pullman, a boy with some defect on his face. I already saw the film, so I know what this story will be about, but I still want to read it because I loved the movie. It was so sad, heartwarming, but also, yeah, it just tugged on my heartstrings, and I will definitely show it to my son when he will be a little bit older. So I also want to read this book and have in my collection for my son to read in the future, if he will like reading. I hope so. I want him to read. I'm just rambling. So yeah, I think this one is the book that I want to read the most of all 12 of them that I have. Another book that I want to read is Just One Day by Gail Forman, but of course I have a Norwegian edition. It's Bare en dag. I've got this book from my husband. It was a comeback gift from him when I came back home with Lucas from visiting my family in Lithuania. I came back home and I found this book on my bed, on my bedside table. So it was an amazing gift. However, I still haven't read it, even though it was 2, maybe 3 years ago. So yeah, definitely time to read this one. I heard a lot of good things about this book, so hopefully I will like it. It's about a girl, Alison, who is doing everything based on her plans. She knows what she wants, she tries to do it, but one day she takes a spontaneous journey to Paris with an unknown guy, and it's about that day, I'm guessing. Another one is also a huge one, and to be honest, I already tried to read it and I'm not that interested anymore, but I'm still willing to give it a chance. It's All the Lights We Cannot See by Anthony Doerr. It's also a Norwegian edition, and it's about I think it's a French girl and a German boy, a German soldier. I think she is blind, I'm guessing, and how their life will interact. I don't know much more about this book. I think I will try to read it one more time. If I can't get into it, it will also go to the charity shop. Also, one of the books that I won on the Goodreads giveaway was The Witch Some Witch, Damning Her and Damning Me by Queen O'Queen. I don't understand this title, to be honest. Seriously, what? Maybe definitely it's only me. I'm guessing it's going to be about witch and about magic. Like I am guessing from the title, it's a little bit frightening, tragic, violent and shameless story of the witch. Quite interesting. Very, very, very short one, so I think it won't take me a lot of time to read this one. Also, we have a mystery thriller by Norwegian Agatha Christie, Jo Nesbø. I think everyone knows him. It's Blood by, like I said, Jo Nesbø, and it's August 1977. One man is found dead. He calls himself Ulf or Wolf. We have no baggage on nothing more, only jacket on himself. And yeah, I think now the detectives will try to find what happened there. I read more books by Jo Nesbø and I quite enjoyed them, so definitely I will read this one. I'm thinking I will like it also. It's very short, so it won't take me a lot of time to read this one. Another one is Fragile Things by Neil Gaiman. It's short fictions and wonders. I can read you the description of this one. Let me tell you the stories of the month, of the year, of ghosts and heartbreak, of dread and desire, of after-hours drinking and unanswered phones, of good deeds and bad days, of trusting wolves and how to talk to girls. There are stories within stories, whispered in the quiet of the night, shouted above the roar of the day, and played out between lovers and enemies, strangers and friends. But all are fragile things made of just 26 letters, arranged and rearranged to form tales and imaginings which will dazzle your senses, haunt your imagination and move you to the very depths of your soul. Typical Neil Gaiman. I loved all of his books that I read, so I have very, very, very high hopes for this one too. The last one will be The Charm of Revenge by Tom Secret. I don't remember if I've got this directly from the author or I also won that book on the Goodreads. I don't remember, but yeah, definitely I haven't bought it by myself. So it's definitely time to read it and write a review. I think I will just read you the description. 6 years ago, Brad and Lola Fairweather chased through the desert hospital corridors with little Jack trailing behind. In Lola's arms, wrapped in a pink blanket, her precious Daisy was a year old and dying of pneumonia. She needed a doctor, but Brad ran into the cops, who stun-gunned him and dragged him away, leaving Daisy to die in her mother's arms. Tormented by grief, Lola yearned for revenge as they worked to rebuild the family in their lives. Now the extracurricular activities of a rogue IRS department and its sadistic leader are about to threaten their family, forcing the Fairweathers to take the law into their own hands. Horrifying details emerge as the bodies pile up and the tenacious detective lieutenant races to assemble the pieces while his own fate hangs in the balance. Sounds very interesting for me. I think it will be a very sad story. I'm feeling that it will be so, but I still want to read this one. So that are the 12 books that I have to read in next year. I just put them down because they are very heavy. So wish me luck and hopefully I will like them. So thanks for watching and I'll see you in my next one.